Have you ever wondered why some people leave a lasting impression even when they're not around? It's not about the words they say or the things they do, it's about the space they create in your mind. The ancient Stoics mastered this art of presence and absence, teaching us that true power lies not in chasing attention, but in cultivating meaningful connections. Imagine this. You meet someone who listens intently, who's fully present in the moment, and whose energy lingers long after they've left. They don't overwhelm you with constant messages or calls, yet their absence feels palpable. This is the power of intentional presence, a skill anyone can develop by embracing the Stoic philosophy. Take Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. Despite ruling one of the largest empires in history, he practiced being fully present with those around him. His quiet confidence and wisdom left a legacy that has endured for centuries. His life teaches us that by focusing on what we can control, our actions, energy, and intentions, we can create an impact that resonates far beyond our physical presence. So, how can you apply this in your own life? Start by being fully present in every interaction. Put away distractions, listen deeply, and make those moments count. When you step away, let your absence speak for itself. Don't feel the need to constantly check in. Let the memories of your presence fill that space. Now it's your turn to leave a mark. Begin by creating meaningful connections, practicing presence, and balancing your time wisely. Start today and watch how your relationships transform. Comment below, how will you practice being more present today? Don't forget to subscribe for more insights on Stoicism and living a life of purpose. Stay tuned. We'll dive deeper into the art of building meaningful connections in the next video. The psychology of absence, the art of making people. Miss you? Have you ever noticed that sometimes absence speaks louder than presence? In a world where everyone is competing for attention, Stoicism reminds us that true power lies not in being everywhere all the time, but in making others value your presence when you're not there. We often fail to appreciate the value of something until it's no longer within reach. Psychology calls this the scarcity effect. Think about a rare item, like a limited edition watch. Its appeal isn't just in its functionality, but in the fact that it's not easily obtainable. The same principle applies to relationships. When you're always available, always present, people may begin to take you for granted. But when you learn how to create intentional absence, you give others the space to truly appreciate your presence. Imagine you have a friend who's always there whenever you need them. At first, you're grateful. But, over time, their constant presence might make you take them for granted. On the other hand, a friend who balances their availability with moments of distance will leave you valuing the times you connect even more. Ask yourself this question. When you step away, what will others remember about you? When we're absent, people naturally reflect on the memories and meaningful moments we've created. This is when they truly begin to see our value. Story. Sarah used to think she needed to text her boyfriend constantly to maintain his attention. However, the more she tried, the less appreciated she felt. One day, she decided to focus on herself, pursuing her hobbies and creating space in the relationship. The result? Her boyfriend began to realize how much he valued her and started making an effort to reconnect. This is the lesson of intentional absence. When done thoughtfully, distance doesn't diminish your value, it amplifies it. How to create meaningful absence. Be fully present when you're there. Absence only has power if your presence leaves a lasting impression. Listen deeply, pay attention to details, and make every moment meaningful. Example. During a conversation, put your phone away, maintain eye contact, and listen with genuine interest. When you leave behind a kind word or a thoughtful gesture that lingers in their mind. Know when to step away. The art of leaving at the right moment is essential. Don't overstay your presence to the point where it becomes predictable or dull. At a gathering, leave while the conversation is still engaging, rather than waiting for things to slow down. At work, focus on contributing value and step away when your job is done instead of trying to overextend yourself. Build a life of your own. Absence only matters when you have a meaningful life outside of your relationships. Pursue your passions, achieve your goals, and enjoy your independence. This not only makes your presence valuable, but also makes you naturally more attractive to others. The power of absence in real life. Friendships. A friend who's always around may become too familiar, but one who knows when to step back creates a stronger bond. When they show up, you value their presence even more. At work, an employee who takes on every task may be overlooked, but someone who selectively takes on responsibilities that align with their strengths and adds real value will stand out and be respected. Marcus Aurelius and the art of leadership. Marcus Aurelius didn't need to be everywhere to prove his authority. He left an impact through deliberate actions and thoughtful presence, earning respect not just for his position, but for how he mastered his presence and absence. Stoicism teaches us that our power lies in controlling ourselves, not others. You can't force people to value you, but you can create conditions for them to naturally see your worth. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Meaningful absence is about managing your energy and presence. You don't need to prove your worth constantly. Instead, let your actions and the time you spend with others speak for themselves. Start practicing today. 1. Be fully present. Choose a conversation or a gathering. Focus entirely on it. Listen deeply and leave a positive impact. 2. Create space. When you leave, resist the urge to check in immediately. Allow your absence to create value naturally. Have you experienced the power of absence? If not, how will you apply this art to your life? Don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing lessons from Stoicism. In the next video, we'll explore how mystery can make you irresistibly captivating. Stay tuned. The art of mystery, how to make people curious and captivated. Have you ever wondered why some people seem naturally magnetic? They don't shout for attention, yet they draw others in like a magnet. Their secret? Mystery. It's the art of leaving something unsaid, creating an irresistible curiosity that makes people want to know more. In this article, we'll explore how to master the art of mystery. Rooted in Stoic philosophy, mystery isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about living authentically and sharing yourself in a way that leaves people captivated. Mystery triggers our innate curiosity. Psychologically, people are drawn to what they don't fully understand. It's the same reason we binge-watch TV shows that end with cliffhangers or anticipate the next installment of a book series. When you reveal everything about yourself immediately, you remove the element of discovery. Without questions left unanswered, interest can fade. Think about a first date. If someone tells you their entire life story in one evening, you might appreciate their openness, but feel there's nothing left to explore. Contrast this with someone who shares just enough to intrigue you, leaving you curious to learn more. Being mysterious doesn't mean being closed off or evasive. It's about pacing what you share and allowing others to discover you naturally. You don't need to justify every choice or share every thought. Silence or a simple smile can often say more than words. Instead of explaining every detail about a new project you're working on, share just the highlights. Let the other person ask questions and show genuine interest. Think of yourself as a book with many chapters. Don't reveal your entire narrative at once. Instead, let others uncover your layers over time. On a second or third interaction, share a story about a unique hobby or experience you've had. This adds depth and intrigue to your personality. When you listen more than you talk, you not only build stronger connections, but also maintain an air of mystery. People will naturally want to know more about you if you're not constantly explaining yourself. When you're present in a conversation, focus on quality rather than quantity. Make others feel valued by giving them your undivided attention. During a group discussion, avoid dominating the conversation. Instead, contribute meaningful insights at the right moments, leaving others impressed and intrigued. Silence, when used intentionally, can be a powerful tool for attraction. It creates space for others to think about what you've said or wonder what you're holding back. Imagine someone asking about your next big move in life. Instead of giving a detailed answer, respond with a confident "you'll see soon enough." The intrigue will keep them engaged. People are naturally drawn to those who have their own passions, goals, and independence. By focusing on your own growth and fulfillment, you create a natural allure. Share snippets of your passions, like an art project you're working on or a new skill you're mastering. Let your actions reflect your depth without revealing too much. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and to live with intention. Part of this philosophy is understanding that not everything needs to be shared. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By controlling what you share and when you share it, you maintain a sense of control over how others perceive you. This isn't about manipulation. It's about valuing yourself enough to share only what aligns with your authenticity and purpose. Avoid oversharing in moments of excitement. Instead, pause and ask yourself if what you're about to say adds value or if it's better left unsaid. Example: during a casual chat with colleagues, focus on asking thoughtful questions rather than steering the conversation toward yourself. Not every skill or interest needs to be on display immediately. Save some for moments when they can truly shine. Example: if you're great at playing the piano, wait for the right moment, like a gathering with friends, to showcase your talent, surprising and delighting them. In today's digital age, mystery can be a rare and powerful asset. Avoid sharing every detail of your life online. Instead, post selectively and intentionally, leaving followers curious about what's happening behind the scenes. When you master the art of mystery, you create intrigue. People are naturally drawn to what they don't fully understand. Build deeper connections. By focusing on meaningful interactions, you give others a reason to value your presence. Maintain your individuality. By not revealing everything at once, you protect your sense of self and avoid becoming predictable. Example: think of the most fascinating people you've met. Chances are they didn't share everything about themselves up front, leaving you intrigued and eager to know more. Mystery is not about manipulation. Being mysterious isn't about playing games or withholding important information. It's about authenticity and intentionality. You can still form deep connections while maintaining an air of intrigue. Mystery is about how you share, not whether you share. Start practicing the art of mystery today. 1. Listen more than you speak. Make your conversations about understanding others rather than explaining yourself. 2. Share selectively. Reveal just enough to spark interest, leaving room for curiosity. 3. Cultivate your passions. Focus on your personal growth and let your life's richness shine through your actions. How will you use mystery to create deeper connections? Don't forget to subscribe for more Stoic wisdom and tips on living a purposeful, captivating life. In our next video, we'll uncover the balance between presence and absence, another key to mastering meaningful relationships. Stay tuned. The balance between presence and absence, the key to building meaningful connections. Have you ever wondered why some relationships flourish while others fade over time? The secret often lies in one overlooked concept: balance. Balancing when to be present and when to step back is an art that can transform how people perceive and value you. Rooted in Stoic philosophy, this approach isn't about playing hard to get, but about respecting both yourself and the natural rhythm of relationships. In this article, we'll explore how mastering this balance can create stronger, more meaningful connections. Too much presence can dilute your impact, while too much absence risks alienating others. Like music, relationships thrive on rhythm. The interplay between presence and space. Humans are wired to value what feels limited. When you're overly available, you risk being taken for granted. But when you create intentional space, people have time to reflect on your value and miss your presence. Think of a favorite song. If it's played too often, it loses its charm. But when you don't hear it for a while, listening to it again feels fresh and nostalgic. Relationships work the same way. Being present doesn't mean merely being physically there, it means being fully engaged and attentive. When you're with someone, focus entirely on them. Put away distractions, listen deeply, and respond thoughtfully. Instead of scrolling through your phone during a conversation, maintain eye contact and show genuine interest in what they're saying. Offer a thoughtful comment or insight that lets them know you're fully present. The quality of your presence often leaves a stronger impression than its duration. A short, heartfelt conversation where you truly connect can be far more impactful than hours spent together without meaningful interaction. Absence allows others to process and appreciate the moments you've shared. It creates a sense of longing and reflection that deepens connections. Absence gives people the opportunity to evaluate how much you mean to them. Without this space, relationships can become routine or stagnant. A friend who always calls or texts may seem dependable at first, but over time, their constant availability can make the relationship feel one-sided. However, a friend who checks in occasionally but meaningfully keeps the bond fresh and balanced. Knowing when to step back is just as important as knowing when to show up. After a productive meeting or a joyful gathering, resist the urge to linger unnecessarily. Leaving while the energy is still high creates a positive, lasting impression. Mastering the balance between presence and absence requires mindfulness and self-awareness. Healthy relationships thrive on mutual respect. Establish boundaries that allow you to recharge and maintain your individuality. If you're always saying yes to every request from friends or colleagues, take a step back. Politely decline when necessary to preserve your time and energy. Pay attention to the dynamics of each relationship. Some connections may require more presence, while others flourish with more space. In a close friendship, checking in weekly might feel natural. But in a newer relationship, occasional but meaningful interactions might be more appropriate. Absence isn't about disappearing or creating tension. It's about giving others the space to value your presence. After a significant conversation or event, allow time for the other person to process what's been shared. This space enhances the emotional impact of your words and actions. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of moderation and intentionality. Marcus Aurelius taught us to focus on what's within our control, our actions, and how we manage our energy. Quote from Marcus Aurelius: "Waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one." This philosophy encourages us to live authentically, knowing when to engage and when to step back. By mastering this balance, we not only strengthen our relationships, but also cultivate inner peace and clarity. When you're spending time with someone, give them your undivided attention. Action. Step. Dedicate a phone-free hour during conversations or gatherings. Let your focus on the other person show them they're valued. When it's time to step away, do so confidently and without guilt. After a meaningful interaction, give the other person space to reflect. Avoid immediately following up or over-explaining your absence. Make self-care and personal growth a priority. Action. Step. Block time in your schedule for activities that nourish your mind and body, like reading, exercising, or pursuing hobbies. By mastering this balance, you enhance connections. Others will value your presence more deeply. Maintain individuality. You preserve your independence and personal growth. Cultivate respect. People will respect your time and energy, knowing you're intentional with both. Example: think of a mentor who checks in sparingly but offers incredible insights each time. Their balanced approach makes their presence invaluable. Constant availability can lead to burnout and cause others to take you for granted. While absence can strengthen bonds, excessive distance may cause relationships to drift apart. Start practicing the art of balance today. 1. Be fully present. Make your next conversation or interaction meaningful and distraction-free. 2. Embrace space. Allow time for others to reflect on your impact by stepping back intentionally. 3. Focus on growth. Dedicate time to personal development, which enhances both your life and your relationships. How will you balance your presence and absence to build stronger connections? Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom on Stoicism and practical tips for meaningful living. In our next video, we'll dive into the power of intentional actions and how they shape lasting impressions. Stay tuned. Applying Stoic philosophy, building stronger connections through self-control. What if the key to building meaningful relationships wasn't about what you said or did for others, but about how you managed yourself? Stoic philosophy teaches us that by focusing on what we can control, our actions, attitudes, and presence, we can cultivate deeper, more lasting connections. In this section, we'll explore how to apply Stoic principles in your relationships, making yourself not only more valuable to others, but also more aligned with your own values and purpose. At its core, Stoicism is about self-mastery. It teaches us to differentiate between what is within our control, our thoughts, actions, and responses, and what is not, the opinions, actions, or emotions of others. Stoics remind us that we can't force others to care about us or see our value. Instead, we should focus on how we present ourselves and interact with the world. Imagine you've invested a lot of time in a friendship, but the other person seems distant. Instead of getting upset or chasing their attention, a Stoic approach would involve reflecting on your actions. Are you being genuine and true to yourself? If so, let go of trying to control their response and trust that your authentic self is enough. To create meaningful connections, you must first cultivate self-awareness. When you're clear about your values and priorities, your presence becomes intentional and impactful. Ask yourself, what do you bring to the table in your relationships? Are you a good listener, a source of encouragement, or a steady presence in times of need? Action. Step. Reflect on your strengths and how you can use them to enhance your connections. For example, if you're a thoughtful listener, focus on truly hearing others during conversations rather than thinking about what you'll say next. Stoics emphasize controlling our reactions, even when faced with challenging situations. If a friend cancels plans at the last minute, instead of reacting with frustration, take a step back. Recognize that their actions are beyond your control and choose to respond calmly. This self-restraint not only preserves your inner peace, but also strengthens your relationship by avoiding unnecessary conflict. Stoicism values authenticity, living in alignment with your principles and being true to yourself. Authenticity creates trust, which is the foundation of any strong relationship. One of the greatest lessons from Stoicism is to let go of the need for approval. When you stop chasing validation, you become more confident and grounded, which naturally draws people to you. Instead of worrying about impressing others, focus on living according to your values. If honesty is important to you, speak your truth kindly and respectfully, even if it's not what others want to hear. Authenticity doesn't mean being perfect, it means being real. A Stoic knows that flaws are part of the human experience and doesn't hide them. If you're feeling overwhelmed, instead of pretending everything is fine, share your feelings honestly with a trusted friend. This vulnerability fosters deeper connections. Stoicism teaches us to care for others while maintaining our own emotional balance. This concept, empathy without attachment, allows us to build meaningful relationships without losing ourselves. When you engage with others, do so with your full attention. This presence shows that you value them, which strengthens the bond between you. During a conversation, instead of thinking about how to respond or checking your phone, focus entirely on what the other person is saying. Let them feel heard and understood. You can offer support and care, but you can't control how others will respond. Stoicism encourages us to give without expecting anything in return. If you help a friend through a tough time, do it because it aligns with your values, not because you expect them to repay you. This mindset frees you from disappointment and resentment. Ironically, one of the best ways to improve your connections is to focus on your independence. When you cultivate a fulfilling life outside of your relationships, you bring more value to them. A Stoic understands the importance of self-growth. By investing in your interests and goals, you become a more interesting and well-rounded person. If you love painting, dedicate time to developing your skills. Not only will this enrich your life, but it will also make you more inspiring to others. While relationships are important, Stoicism teaches us not to depend entirely on others for our happiness. By finding fulfillment within ourselves, we bring a sense of stability to our relationships. Instead of expecting your partner or friends to fill every emotional need, practice self-care and mindfulness. This independence creates a healthier dynamic, where relationships are built on mutual respect rather than dependence. Not every disagreement needs to be addressed. A Stoic approach involves letting go of trivial conflicts and focusing on what truly matters. If a colleague makes a minor mistake, ask yourself if addressing it will genuinely improve the situation. If not, let it go and focus on more important priorities. Gratitude is a key Stoic practice that strengthens relationships by shifting your focus to what you appreciate about others. Take a moment each day to reflect on what you're grateful for in your relationships. Share this gratitude with the people who matter most to you. It could be as simple as saying, "I really value your support." By applying Stoic principles, you'll create deeper connections. Your authenticity and presence will foster trust and understanding. Maintain inner peace. Controlling your reactions and letting go of expectations reduces conflict and stress. Strengthen your individuality. Cultivating independence makes you more confident and self-assured. Think of someone in your life who seems calm, grounded, and genuine. Chances are their Stoic approach makes them a source of strength and inspiration for those around them. It's natural to fear how others might perceive you. A Stoic mindset helps by reminding you that their opinions are outside your control. Caring deeply while maintaining emotional boundaries can be challenging, but it's essential for healthy relationships. Start practicing Stoic principles in your relationships today. 1. Reflect on your values. Identify what matters most to you and align your actions with those priorities. 2. Be present. Dedicate your full attention to those you interact with. 3. Focus on self-growth. Pursue your passions and cultivate independence to bring your best self to every relationship. What Stoic principle will you apply to your relationships this week? Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom on Stoicism and practical tips for living a meaningful, intentional life. In our next video, we'll explore the role of small, silent actions in leaving a lasting impression. Stay tuned. The foundation of any meaningful connection is living with intention. Stoic philosophy teaches us that relationships are strengthened not by constant effort to please others, but by aligning our actions with our values and showing up authentically. When you focus on what you can control, your presence, energy, and actions, you create bonds that are built on respect and mutual understanding. Stoics remind us that it's not about controlling how others see you, but about being true to yourself and allowing your genuine self to shine through. Take a moment to reflect. Are you investing your time and energy wisely in your relationships? Are you fully present when you engage with others, and do you create space for them to value your absence? By practicing gratitude, balancing presence with absence, and maintaining independence, you can transform your relationships into sources of joy and strength. Remember, it's the quality of your connections, not the quantity of time spent, that truly matters. Start today. Make every interaction meaningful by being fully present. Focus on the impact you leave behind, and trust that by living authentically, you'll build relationships that stand the test of time. Comment below. What's one Stoic principle you'll apply to your relationships starting today? Don't forget to subscribe for more lessons on Stoicism and practical ways to live a life of purpose. Join us in the next video as we uncover more insights to help you thrive in both relationships and personal growth. See you soon.